Okay, good. So, last the last time we met, we talked or we explained what breast cancer prediction machine looks like and how to actually do that on our group collab. And I believe by now everybody should have understood how to write a machine learning model, how to write a prediction system, basically, not only for breast cancer, but whatever thing we are trying to write. So today, let's try to move on at a quick speed. So I want to explain um, what we mean by deployment. So I think I've explained it right, but I will still explain it today again. So when we say we want to deploy a machine learning model. Maybe I'll just go there. So let's go to our Google Colab. Collab. Yeah, hello. Hello, can anyone hear me now? Oh,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. My network knocked me out. My Wi-Fi died unexpectedly. So what was the last thing you heard me saying? You heard me saying? What was the last thing you guys heard before I was logged out?
Oh, you only mentioned, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, you are talking about the data, I think the breast cancer. Is it, you are just mentioning the data that you uploaded, that's what you were saying before you log out.
Oh my goodness. And I was actually speaking. I don't know my internet connection has been tampered. Okay, it's fine. Let's continue from where it stopped. Yeah. So I was saying something around about deployment, what we mean by what deployment really is. So I told us that whenever we are done writing our machine learning code on our Google Colab or any IDE such as Google Anaconda, I think we discussed that yesterday. So you need to host them on a web application. I was trying to say that we have two major web application um, two major hosts for our web application. So we have the first one, it is called Streamlit. S3, let me just write it out. So you can just write streamlit.io, streamlit.io. So this is the first one. So you can actually you can see something like a faster way to build and share data apps. That is, you can actually build our first web application, and you can see it is all in pure Python, no front-end experience required. You don't need to learn gigantic code. You don't need to write all those intimidating lines of code. They are very simple. It's just what you've written, and there are some new stuff, but it's a bit technical, but we'll break it down. So you can see this is the first one. So we also have another one, which is called Flask. So if you have heard of any one of the two, so you can see we have welcome to Flask documentation. So let's look at it. So this like Flask also, it is also used for our Python. Agnes. Someone said they can't see my screen. Is it my network again? Hello. Can anyone here see my screen? Well, I can see my screen on my board, on my laptop here.
I
Can
can see
anyone?
your screen.
Yeah?
I can see your screen.
Um, Mr. Muhyiddin Abi said he can see my screen. Mr. Muhyiddin, can you see my screen? I'm not sure he's with us. Mr. Ahmed, can you see my screen now?
No, I can't see your screen. I guess it is
Can
my
you,
own network.
can you
I
log
can't
out
see
and
your. Okay.
okay, what about now?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, good. So I was just saying something around Flask. Flask is another host for our web application. You can see it is used to design web application framework. So basically, in the next for the next 3 weeks, we'll be learning about Flask and Streamlit. So they are very easy. So the next thing yesterday we also discussed that we need to download VS Code. So I'll actually start from
Yes.
downloading. Hey God. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I told us yesterday that we need to download Visual Studio Code, and I think I explained how to download this. So I want to click on, we will actually need to start from this place. So let's understand basically the first thing we are done. So when we are done with our Google Colab, the code, so when we are done with the code, the first thing is you want to go to our file here. So when you click on new file, because I have no file already, so I just click on new file. Yeah, let's click on new file. Opening. New file. Sorry. It's because this thing looks okay. I'm supposed to open a folder. Let me just see next time. Okay. Sorry. Let me just create a file here. Create a folder. Okay. So this folder is where I will be storing my code, my lines of code here. That's where I'll be storing it. Okay. Yes. So sorry, I'm finding it hard to get the new file. It's supposed to be new file, then I'm supposed to get my file here. Oh, okay. Sorry, I've gotten it. No, it's not Python. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, finally, I'm done. So I am actually supposed to press new file. Then I'm actually when I press a new file, then I'm actually supposed to pick something here. So that I think this is a new new development because it was not like this before. Obviously, you know that I just installed this app, so it looks a little bit new to me. So the first thing you want to do is we call something PQ, pickle. So let me just go to my happiness. I don't know if I'm going too fast, but yeah, just go with me. Okay. So let's say you are writing you are done writing your stuff, your everything. So obviously, oh, sorry. So let's say this thing, let's assume this particular data is working. Let's assume it is working. So I had lines of code. So the next thing you're actually supposed to do is import pickle. So when you import pickle, let me see if it will run. I'm only importing PQ. PQ is another library. Basically, importing pickle, this particular library, it's just like I want to save everything I've written in the in the top. But remember, my code has a little bit of error there. So if I want to correct this, I need to debug it, obviously. But I want you to understand this thing. which is very much important than we debugging it. Debugging it will take a lot of time than we understanding what we're trying to write. Now, this particular pickle, we use it to save. We use it to save we use it to save the lines of code that we've written. Now we've written almost how many lines of code here? I can't see the number of lines, but I know we've written like, let's say 30 lines of code here, and we've gotten if the breast is malignant or if the breast is benign. So yeah, I want to save all the codes, all the transformation, the data cleaning, all the EDAs. I want to save it under pickle. Now this pickle is a library. You can see when I said import pickle, and you can see it is already running, so you don't need to download anything. So the next thing is I want to write something like file. Let me just, this is a variable. Obviously you can use anything as your own variable. So it's already giving me something like first cancer.sav pickle. I'm not doing something like that. So let's just say open. What's the name of my model? What model did I use? I think I used logistic regression. Yes, I use logistic regression. I want to say something like logistic. No, what's the name of my model? No, let me just, I can name it anything actually. So let me just say, yeah, let me just say logistic model.pickle WB. Now let me explain what I'm writing. So this logistic model.pickle, that is, I want to save this particular file. Everything I've written here in I want to save it as what logistic model.pickle. This pickle is what is the library I'm running now currently. So I want to write something like comma WB. So this WB means save everything in what, in binary number, right? So, and it should be right, like I should be able to write something on it, which is why we have something like WB. So if I'm done saving this thing, then I run it. Actually, it is giving me an error because it is saying it does not unterminated string. Okay, I think there is not an error, but I guess unterminated string literal detected. Is that an error? Oh, sorry, there's supposed to be something here. Okay, is that why it's giving me error? Okay. So you can actually see, if I actually look at my own computer, window E, if I look at downloads, am I finding it out to see this thing? Let me search logistic. So sorry. We have this problem because, okay, I can see it here. So I guess because it is Google Colab, actually, it is supposed to save in my own computer. But I can actually download it here. You can see something like download here. So I can download it here. So I can see I have it here. So if I open this file, let's open it. Okay, I can open it. So what I'm trying to say is that, what I'm trying to explain basically is that, let's say these lines of code, let's say they are running. So I can easily import pickle. This pickle will help us to save whatever we've written at the top here. Then we want to write the name of a file. That is, we want to write a name of a file. Open, what's the name of my, what name do I want to save my file with? I want to save it as logistic model.pickle, and you can see something like logistic model.pickle. That's the name of the file. Then I'm just calling this WB, that is, write it in binary number, nothing special. Please, do you understand till that step? And before I move on, hello, please, can you unmute your mic, maybe one or two? Do you understand till that step? Anyone? Only one guy. Mr. Muhyiddin, Mr. Abbas, do you understand?
Sorry, please. Can
Yes.
you explain that file plot again?
Okay. So now this pickle, we already understand that that's used for saving whatever we've written, the lines of code we've written. Now, file equals to open logistic model.pickle. Now, this open is that like open a book. What's the name of this book? The name of this book is what? I want to save it with any name. I can actually write any name. Instead of saying logistic model, I can say something like logistic regression. It depends on you. Depending on whatever you want to write there. So I can say logistic regression.pickle. This is the name of the file. It's just like saving a notebook. I can decide to save this thing as breast cancer prediction machine, and I can decide to say BCPM. That's the initials of every word here. I can decide to use the initials. It's just what I want to use to save this particular file. So the same thing, what I want to use to save all the lines of code, I want to name it logistic regression.pickle. So if I should actually do this one now, can you see we have some another thing like logistic regression.pickle. So you will be the one to pick the name of your file, and I can see I have two already now. So this WB is just like write this particular file in binary number. Do you get it now? Mr. Abbas, do you get it? Hey God.
Yes, I do. I get it now.
Okay. I'm so sorry. So the next thing we'll do is we'll come back to our Visual Studio Code. As I told us earlier that I told us earlier that we have let me just say
I just joined, sir. Are we still using VS Codes or are we still using Google Colab or VS Codes?
we are using both of them currently.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
So, the moment we save it as .pkl, does it create a directory in our computer already, or we still have to carry the file again?
No, because it is a Google Colab, I was expecting it to be on my laptop actually. So let me just go back there. So because it is a Google Colab, sorry, again. So because it is a Google Colab, I will need to press this file. Can you see something like logistic regression.pickle, right? I'm now actually supposed to download it. Once I download it, then I go to my computer. So if I click on my downloads now, so I can see I have my logistic regression.pickle and logistic model. Both of them, I've downloaded them. But if it is something like Google Anaconda, what is this? Anaconda Jupyter Notebook, sorry. That one will download that one will download automatically to my laptop. So I'll just go to my download, then I will be able to see it. But because that one is Google Colab, I need to I need to manually download it. Do you get that, sir?
Yes, it's clear now.
Yeah.
I said it is clear now.
Okay, great. Don't worry, we might not understand everything today, but once you get the idea, so, next week we perfect it. You need to get idea. That's because it is technical. It's not something you've been doing before. So the first thing here is I told us that we have two different ways of generating our web application. We have the Flask method, then we have the Streamlit method. So I want us to start with Flask method. So the first thing you will write is, if you want to start with Flask method, you write something like from Flask, right? I think I showed us what Flask is. Flask is just is just a web application app, right? It is used to host web applications. Sorry. So we need to import the necessary libraries such as F. And now note my Flask. It is in capital letter F, right? I wrote this, and the first one is in small letter F, while the second one is in what? Capital letter F. I'm not sure if this will run. Obviously it can't because the file is not correct. So I have to request and JSON. So these are the necessary libraries you need to run Flask. So we have our Flask, we have our request, we have JSONify, right? Also, I need to import my pickle. That's my saved file. That's too obvious. I need to import that one into my VS Code. So the next thing is I want to call on to my app. So I will say Flask. This is the library I've what's that? The library I've imported into my VS Code. So I write something like app equals to Flask, sorry, open bracket, underscore 1, 2, 2 underscore, then you write name. That's just like convention. I don't know how to explain this thing. That's like the conventional way. It's just like, how do you eat food? You understand? You just see them holding spoon. So there's no technical explanation why you are using spoon. Anyway, there is, but I think you should understand what I'm trying to say. That if you want to build a web app, you just need to write all of this thing. It's not something you need to get the explanation of writing it. But I'm looking from this, it means that this flask, we are trying to write a name, right? The name of the flask. You still write a name, we still give it a name. But that's what we are trying to do here. So the next thing is, after our app, we want to write our model. What model are we using? We want to use, I can get my model from what? From my saved file. What is the name of my saved file? That's what pickle. Pickle dot, sorry, it has to be together. So I want to say, okay, what's the name of my saved file? That's sorry, what do I save it with again? Logistic model dot pickle. So I'll just say something like load. Obviously, it has to load it, then it has to open. So load open. What's the name of my file? Logistic. Is it capital letter L? So yeah, I'm trying logistic model dot pickle. Everything is small letter. So you want to write something like, where is it? Sorry. So I want to write something like logistic model dot pickle dot pkl, then comma rb. Now this rb is what is read in binary. Remember, we've written in binary already. The file we wrote on Google Colab, we wrote it in binary. Now we are trying to read what we wrote, right? So that's what we are trying to say. Load open. What are we opening? We are opening logistic model, and we are trying to read in binary, right? So don't worry, we are almost done. So we write something like at app. There is no logical explanation to why I'm writing at app. It's just that that's how they write it. You need to just cram it. The more you write, the more you understand. So at our routes, let me just say routes. Then this one. Then we are explaining what I'm trying to do now. So I want to say df. Now, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to create my first application. I'm trying to create my home page. So that's why I'm saying define my home, right? So when you log into the application, the first thing you will see, maybe I want to say welcome. No, instead of saying welcome, I can say your one stop to breast, or I can say your assurance to knowing if you have a breast cancer. You understand? So I can just say it, just like when you log into your Facebook, the first thing you will see is what's on your mind. If you open or if you reload your Techno phone, the first thing you will see is the Techno pop-up on the home screen. That's basically what I want to write now. So I want to write something like star. So I want to write return. So on that home screen, what do you want to return? I want to return, maybe I can just say your one stop app to determine your breast cancer status. Right? So this basically, we've created our own page by just writing this app. So I want to take question before I move on. Do we understand what I've been writing? Hello? Okay, maybe I'll just call on to us one by one. Mr. Temitope, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you understand what we've learned today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to. Well, if I should, I will record the video again, but I'm still learning. I'm trying to get what you are trying to do, sir. But I try
You
what
are
you are
trying.
trying to get to tell us here about this divine app stuff like that. I got that, sir.
Okay, great. Mr. Muhyiddin, do you understand what you are doing here? Is he with us? Okay, we move on. Miss Rafiat, are you there? Do you understand what we are trying to do in this particular class?
Yes, probably I will watch the video, but like I'm getting what you're saying right now.
Yeah, what I'm saying right now. What else? Mr. Abbas, do you understand what we are saying right now?
Yeah, it's a little bit clear. For now, I think I have to like just cram the syntax. I don't understand like the meaning for each and every one of it, but I understand the whole like the concept. But I don't understand what each syntax is for, so I'm just like cramming the syntax for now. But I'll watch the video again to understand better.
Okay, let me take it one step after the other. Then because the next one, remember, I'm done with the home page now. The next one is I actually want to build the real thing, and that's a whole lot technical. So let's take it one step after the other, please. I'm begging. So I'll take it one more time. So I'll take it one more time. What we've learned today, so you actually understand instead of me rushing it. Let me just take it one more time. So maybe I'll just cancel this one. So now, remember, we are done with. Please, I want someone to interact with me so I will know if you are understanding instead of just understanding the concept, but understanding why I'm doing this. So I want someone to just anyone can unmute their mic, so I will know that you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So the first thing is we all know that we've done this one. We've cleaned the data sets. Cleaned. We've explored the data sets. We've do the necessary machine learning model. We've predicted it, and we can see we have 95% accuracy. Then already we are already getting if the breast is malignant or the breast is benign, right? We already have the prediction, but it's just that it is in line, it is in code, but we want to convert it to a web application, right? So the first thing is all the lines of code. Obviously, you need to save it in a file. You cannot just write like 30 lines of code and you expect it to import it to another IDE. In this case, you are using the Visual Studio Code as another IDE. So we need to save it in a file. So how do we save it in a file? That's why I called in a library. This particular library enable us to save all our lines of code into a file. So the name of the code of the library is called Pickle. That's import Pickle, right? So it will import the saving library. So I'm not writing this just a variable, right? You can write anything, but because obviously it is a file, it is a document. So instead of writing a file, you can write document. It's just a variable. So I'm not saying
Excuse me,
that.
sir.
Hello, what is that? What do you say?
I want you to ask something.
Okay.
Where you wrote, where you typed import pixel or pixel, is inside Visual Studio Code, not the um Python code again. It's inside the Visual Studio Code that we are using now, right?
No, this is Google Colab. Can you see this is
Oh,
Google CO Colab?
okay, okay.
Okay, does that answer your question? All everything, yeah, I'm trying to take it again, so I'm going over it again. So we are still in Google Colab now, so we are
Okay.
trying to save our file into Pico. Do you get that now? Okay, so we now write file. This particular our name, the name of our file. I want to write something like open. What's the name of my file? I want to name it logistic regression. I can decide to name it anything. So in this case, I'm trying to I'm naming it logistic regression because that's the name of my file. right? So I'm just saying logistic regression dot pkl. This pkl is the name of this library. So that's logistic regression dot pkl. Now I'm trying to say that this particular file, write it in binary number. So that's why I write something like WB, right? So now that I'm done with WB, so I'm done with that one, and I can already see my logistic regression file here. So I can just go to these three dots, then download my file. Once I download it, it will show here that something that is downloaded, and I can see logistic regression one because I have already downloaded it before. So now I'm going back to my Visual Studio Code. Now I need to import the necessary library. What are the necessary library? I need to import Flask, request, and JSONify. We actually use everything, but now can you see we are already using Flask? We still use request and JSONify also, but that's a bit technical, not for this particular thing. So we want to import our pickle. That's our saved file, because obviously you need to import our saved file so we can get all our machine learning models and stuff. So the first thing is I'm trying to call the app. What app am I using? Am I using Streamlit or am I using Flask? Obviously, I'm using Flask. So that's why I'm writing Flask, then open bracket, 2_name, then another 2_. Then if you ask me, why am I using underscore? I won't tell you a candid reason why we are using 2_, right? But that's just like the conventional way of writing the underscore. That's just the conventional way of writing it. So we have, what's the name of our model? So I'm trying to write pickle, that's our saved file. Remember, that's the library that saved our file. So load, that is, it should load our file. Obviously, need to open the file before it can load it. So when it open the file, remember the file is in binary number. So I'm trying to instruct it that read in binary number. So open that file, then load it. So load it into what? Into this model. So basically, that's what I'm trying to do. So now I'm trying to create my own page. That's why I wrote at app.root. Then I wrote this backslash, right? Then I'm saying divine home. So you can actually use this one as another thing. Instead of using home, you can use any other names. It depends on you. So you can, I'm just saying return in my own page, return what? I can write anything here. So I'm just saying your one-stop app to determining your breast cancer. So this is supposed to be breast cancer status. So do you understand everything now? Instead of cramming it, do you understand? Mr. Temitope? Ah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Miss
Yes,
Moyi,
sir. The phone is
Mr.
hanging. That's why.
Mr. Abbas, do you understand? Thank you. Mr. Temitope.
Yeah, understand.
Okay. Mr. Muhyiddin, do you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss Rafiat, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's stop there today. Why are we stopping there? Because if I should move on, the code will not run. So before the next class, I would have debugged this one. I think I told us how to debug it yesterday. Where is it? Our Google Colab. Can you see it is returning an error? It's saying X has 30 feature. And I told us what to do and how to do it. Obviously, I cannot do it in the class. It will take a longer time. So I will have debugged this one. So in the next class, because we have understood the basic now, so be ready for the next one. It will be a bit technical, but I'll try to break it down as easy as possible. But one thing you can use to help me to make this learning seamless is that when I will drop the recording by God's grace today. So please and please, let's try to watch the recording. So it will be very easy for both of us next one, because we are scaling up and we are trying to learn two different web applications. That's Flask and Streamlit. So, but when you understand Flask very well, you'll be able to navigate Streamlit. Please, let's rewatch this particular video before the next class. Is that a promise? If it is a promise, can you reply with an emoji so I know you guys will actually watch it? One. Okay. So yeah, that's where we stop today's class. So sorry for the network inconsistency. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.